Well, hello again, students, and welcome to another lesson using freesketchup.com. Remember, it's free. So go to the Google browser, type in free SketchUp, select the first link that pops up, start modeling. If you see the blue logo, you're good to go. First thing I want to do is I'm going to tell you about this project. It's called the ID Companion Project. And the size it's supposed to be is 2x3, but when I create this model, I'm going to create it 3 times as large. So start with Create New. As I've said many times, go to the model info, select decimals, change the snap interval to 0.0001, maybe enter to lock it in, and then go to the scenes tab. Looks like a movie clipboard. I always model in parallel projection and front view. Select Mr. 6'3" and hit delete. Use the pan tool to move your origin down to the left, and of course create a rectangle that is, and as I move it up, 3 times 2 is 6, comma, 9, enter. Don't get alarmed if it's small. You got to zoom in, and then we'll begin the process. I'm going to make this ultimately 1/8 inch thick, but since I'm making it 3 times as big, I got to enter 0.375. That's 3/8 of an inch. I go to the orbit tool. I go to the push-pull tool. I push it, and take my hands off the mouse, type 0.375. That's 3/8 inch. Enter. And the front view again. Now, I've already downloaded and created my logo, which I'm going to use as a decal to place on the front of this. And then I'm going to trace shapes onto my ID card and see if I can't create a character. So first, click the 3 lines, import from my device, and I find Billy. And select image to import him. And then I'm going to draw and make it look as though that's about the proper size to fit on the ID card. I am going to select with the select tool, look at it from top view. We've done this before. Select the 4 arrow move tool and make sure your decal is in front of your ID, but not attached to it. And then you can position it. I'd say this is my position here. And you can orbit and see. If you've done it correctly, it'll look like this. You want to go to the select tool, right click on your image and explode it. Then go to the paint bucket, select the eyedropper, sample your decal and paint it on your ID, and then hit delete. Now you've transferred that image. Now, one thing to remember, there is going to be a slot here. So let's cut it first. I'm going to use these lines, and just for measurement, I click on this edge, click and drag it to the left, or right that is, and enter 2 on the keyboard, and then enter. Now I'm going to hit escape several times. Not good. Maybe the select tool to deselect. Then to the line again, I will select it on the right side and pull it to the left and enter 2 on the keyboard and enter to lock it in. And again, back to the rectangle tool. Now I'm going to create a rectangle here, and this will end up being cut through, and it'll be the slot with which the lanyard can hook. And of course you can orbit, use the push-pull tool, select and push, and it's 0.375. Enter. There, I've cut completely through. You can orbit around to see if that's true. Next, in order to draw this drawing, I'm going to use the copy. I'm going to copy this ID and move it to the side. So first, I want to select the whole thing using a marquee. Now I'm going to go Control-C and then Control-V and then place my copy right on the x-axis, the red axis. Click. Okay. Now I'm going to draw shapes on the copy and transfer them to the original. And first, let's start with this shirt. So I use the line tool, and I'm going to just create a line on the bottom. Have fun with it. This is a freelance situation where you can create as you see, trace it as you see, as you enjoy. This is your model. I'm actually going to draw straight across. Then I'm going to move to the arc tool yet again. Select down here. Let's go with this. And then straight down. Remember, you want to be seeing each area as a shape. Very well. I drew that. Now I'm going to select this. Actually, I'm going to orbit and pull it out. Click. I'm going to pull it up 0.125. Now, bear in mind, when this is printed on a 3D printer, it will turn out 1/3 as thick as that. So for now, that's a good small thin layer to start with his shirt. I'm going to layer things on top of it. I'm going to layer things below. I have to consider where objects are. Are they closer to me? Are they farther away from me? So for now, I'm going to select it. Now I'm going to select that area with a marquee tool. Right click and make it a component. Always select the Any button and then OK. And now I'm going to use the Move tool to move that shape directly across, keeping that red line. So that means I moved it parallel. And let's look at how that's turning out. As you can see, it's going to be a nice little shoulder on this side and a shoulder on that side. Now, next I can do the shirt. So I'll go back to the copy. Remember, you're the designer. You decide the shape. I'm just having fun with it. Since this is going to be projected out farther than the shirt that I just created, this is the collar, and I'm going to pull it out 0.175, slightly more than 0.125. Yes? At it from front view, select the entire thing that I just created. Select Control C. Actually, I want to right click and make it a component. Then Control C, Control V. Oops, Control Z, sorry. I just want to move that. Okay, apparently, Control Z. Pull it out. Oops, Control Z. See, having trouble myself. You can always use these arrows to go forward. Now I want to push, pull this out. Again, 0.175, enter. View. Select this area, right click, make component, select any, OK. And then I want to use the Move tool to pull it directly to the right on the red axis and paste it into position. Now I'm going to do the face. So I zoom in, select the line tool, The closer you zoom in, the more accuracy you'll get, more precision. And I am going to cut a slot for his mouth. It looks like he's not necessarily smiling. We could use an arc instead. And then we can use a bit of it. Okay, and we can make a shape for his eye. Back to the line tool. Things can be angular. All right. Now that I have that shape, I'm going to pull it out 0.25. So I'm going to orbit, use the pull tool, push pull tool, select, push it out, pull it out, 0.25, enter. In front view, select with marquee, right click, make a component, select any, okay, and then drag the shape over. Now I can return to the hair. Let's make the hair a little different. Now I'm going to pull that out 0.375. Push, pull, 0.375, enter, lock it in, you put it in front view, select with a marquee the area you just created, right click, make a component, select the any box, okay. Maybe I'll use the pan tool. Use the move tool to move that hair right along red axis, move it into place. And finally, I'm going to do, let's see, the ear and the eye together. So use maybe the circle tool here. Oops, the arc tool that is. Select the arc here and here. I'm actually going to return into the circle tool, make it a circle. And then I'm going to draw a shape for the ear. I'm going to orbit, and I'm going to pull those two pieces out. Oops, with the pull them out 0.2 inches. 0.2, enter. 0.2, enter. Front view, select, right click, make component, any, okay, use the move tool, and pull it to the right. Now, I want to add my name